Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1976's Salon Kitty, directed by Tinto Brass. And I am blocking out Teresa Ann Savoy's ass right here on the front cover. This was put out by Blue Underground. I believe they did it on DVD and on this Blu-ray as well. And I believe this Blu-ray is harder to get. I was able to get this some time ago on diabolicdvd.com. And wow. Was this Blu-ray absolutely beautiful. But let's look at this film from 1976. And I have some other Tinto Brass films that I've looked at on this YouTube page as well, and there will be many more to come. And this is the uncensored director's cut, 133 minutes long, from 1976. And it says on the front here, from the director of Caligula. Yes, but I will also add, Cheeky and many more. Now, in the film itself, very interestingly enough, we do have actors from Tenebrae, Torso, Red River, Barry Lyndon, Goldfinger. So some very interesting mix of actors and actresses in this film. We also have something very interesting as well, where there was musical involvement, I believe, from Bruno Nicolai in here as well, that I saw in the opening credits. Kind of musical production, or the music being produced by him, or having some sort of involvement with Bruno Nicolai. So let's get into this film here from 1976. Man, wow, I was just completely in awe of this film and absolutely adore it. Let's enter into it. 133 minutes long, I never saw the censored cut, or the cut that was typically in America. Interestingly enough, at the beginning of this uncensored director's cut, and by the way, this uncensored cut, they were using vault elements from Tinto Brass himself, I believe, for this. There are considerable sections in here that were not ever available in the American cut. And when you do comparisons between the international trailer and the U.S. trailer, you will find, number one, the U.S. trailer seems to have the name of the movie be Madame Kitty instead of Salon Kitty. But the U.S. trailer seems to be pretty conservative in the fact that there's no nudity, whereas the international trailer definitely has, it's a more explicit trailer, a more not as straightforward in exposing of the storyline as the U.S. trailer, but also revealing the shocking nature and of the film much more. And I always find that with international trailers versus American trailers. This is a film that it would be too simple to call it a Nazi film. It would be or a Nazi exploitation film. And it would be too simple to call it a sexploitation film or an erotic film. And it would be too simple to call it a drama. But it is all of those things. But it is also a film of style. It is art house. It is surreal. It's like a painting, and it's a film that involves artwork and paintings, not only within the storyline, but within the cinematography for the film. This is a movie of history, situations, sexuality, violence, decadence, freedom, and slavery. I wasn't aware of the title. The title was not ringing in my head when I would hear this movie. But within probably 45 minutes, I was really entering into the title of this film. The title of this film is A Place. It is a microcosm of the world of Nazi Germany. It is just a very small little space. But within that small space, the storyline branches out and has worldwide implications. This is a film that has wall-to-wall music in it. We have German music, we have show tunes, we have people singing, we have almost these Broadway, almost showgirls movie type presentations and performances, but we also have classical music. We have the use of vinyl records and the importance of vinyl records, not just as music, but also as the main method of recordings at all. Recordings of voice, speech. And I found that very interesting. This is a film of clothing and the lack of clothing. It is a film of wondrous environments within this elaborate, rich, elegant beauty of rooms and furniture. And as I mentioned before, paintings, and the lack of paintings as well, as you will see within the storyline. This is a movie of wild, unabashed sexuality. The music in here moves and pulsates. And there are performances, as I mentioned, but it's within the music, it's within the lyrics of the music also, dealing with theological references, political references, and the mixing of those things, and also sexuality and freedom. This is such a film of style, I cannot emphasize that enough. This is a stylistic, atmospheric journey, without a doubt. It is a piece of art. It is beautiful. It is wild. It is reckless, rebellious, and always elegant and decadent in its elegance. Teresa Ann Savoy is in this film, and she died, I believe, about a year ago or 2 years ago, something like that. And what a powerful presence she has in this film. If you love Teresa Ann Savoy, and I've looked at one of her other films on this YouTube page, Private Vices, I believe it's called. It's with a little bit more in the title. I'm blanking right now. So put up by Mondo Macabro. She has a very strong role in this film, and a lead role in this film, and the breadth, just the breadth of her acting, her presence, her verbal and nonverbal, and the beauty of her body, of her sexuality, is intense. It's powerful in this film, and this is a very, very powerful film at that. One of the beautiful things that I love about Salon Kitty is the idea that this is a film where style is the idea. Style is the substance. Style is the story. Style is right in line with the type of storytelling, the type of cinema this is. The camera has such movement in this film. It glides, it breathes, it's like a living being. I've never seen such mirror work within this film, tripling and doubling imageries. I've never seen how, or images, I've never seen such unabashed work of utilizing the spaces around. Tinto Brass is really doing some unbelievable things, as I stated, with reflections, with being close up with the actors and having tight shots, and then all of a sudden, the next shot, the camera is taking in the entire space of the room that you're in, the majesty of that room. And I don't know if it was a wide angle lens, I'm not exactly certain of that, but the power of when that camera would take the space of the entire room or building was just unbelievable. And as I've mentioned, very artistic. There is definitely a rhythm to this film. I mean, within the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you realize that this is not your standard Nazi film, and this is a movie that is like paintings coming to life. And it is not so much concerned, especially in the first half of the film, with any type of quote-unquote linear storytelling. And you'll see this with Tinto Brass's films. I was just completely enraptured with this film while I was watching it. And 133 minutes, is it? 133 minutes went by so quickly to me in here. And it has such an interesting pacing and presence, and keep your eyes open. There's even an actor from Salon in this film as well that I noticed. Very, very small little kind of side role. You might miss him, but if you don't recognize him, you know, very weird face this gentleman had. This is a film that today, you know, if there was a rating on it, because it says not rated, but graphic sexuality, I mean, this is easy NC-17 for this film. We have full nudity from men and women, even almost erect penises from men. We have masturbation from women and men actually seeing it. There are no gynecological shots in the sex scenes, but very explicit. We have the camera lingering on body parts, from penises to vaginas to butts, and butts opening up, seeing the vagina from behind. There's homosexuality and lesbianism. There's S&M. We have, in a very, very powerful scene, utilizing actual footage of Hitler in role-playing in a sexual scene and murder, and a projected image over a naked body. A piece of bread in the shape of a penis, dildos. This is shots of the inside of a bathroom, and explicit shots at that of the wiping away of evidence of sex from female genitalia. We have lush atmospheres at times, hazy at times, and then at other times crystal clear. There are moments when you lose track of time in the movie, where you're not certain if it's just the representation of words that a character is saying, or it's actually thoughts that are happening in someone's mind, or it's something that has actually happened, but we are now moving into the future and into the present at the same time. We also have romance in this film as well, actual loving romance in here. and the romance and the relationships and the sexual relations and the conversations all share the same thing in common, and the style and the dancing and the sex all share the same thing in common, and the nonverbal cues all share the same thing in common. And that same thing is, it is actually complex and interesting. It's not moving in the typical way. This is an atypical film. It's not moving in the typical fashion whatsoever. This is not playing by the normal rules of the characterizations and human interactions. The proof of what I'm saying here happens in a scene when a soldier is waiting for his train and his lover is chasing after him. The complexities of that scene are evidence that Salon Kitty is not playing by the typical cinema rules, and I thank Tinto Brass for that. It's a film at times where you feel like you could be watching, you know, kind of a Ken Russell film, or maybe like The Devils or something, in the Nazi world. It's a film where things can be happening right before your very eyes, and you're not understanding, you're confused, things are gliding by your eyes and inside of your ears, and you're feeling things even though you can't quote unquote logically understand the images and the sounds that are going before you as you're watching the film. And that is beautiful, because that is when you experience illogical sense. Okay, that's, you know, illogical sense. And Salon Kitty is it's majestic, and it's exploitation, it's sexploitation, it's an erotic film, and it is a Nazi war film. It has an unbelievably powerful and complex climax to the movie. There are twists and turns, and it's truly decadent, and truly a piece of art. And I love this movie. This was great. I mean, you know, every movie I put on this YouTube page I love, and this movie was just so exciting to me. And this is 1976's Salon Kitty right here. Really, really something special. The acting in here was so great. So great. And my gosh, the production value in this movie, holy crap, what was the budget on this film? The production value is through the roof. It's unbelievable. And the art design, you know, everything, really, really wild stuff. And you also have violence in the film. You have some disturbing scenes in here as well, some darkness. But you have some horrifically disturbing sections in this film as well. So you're getting it all here, folks. A truly shocking and beautiful film, and disturbing film, and erotic film, and hot film as well. It's all there, folks. All those contradictions are there, existing together in the same world. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like 1976's Salon Kitty. Please feel free to check out my own personally made films at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. That's POOPY diarrhea. Thank you so much, and good night.